In this video, talking all about Source Connect, and it's a question from one of our VO mentorship members. After that, going to do a quick dive into what agents say, what is Source Connect, and if you don't have it, what do you do? At the very end, Heidi and I are going to share about the VO mentorship. More on that later. But the question came from Holly about Source Connect. She says, should every voiceover actor have access to it at home? If not, is there or are there local studios that have a website to book times? The short, quick answer to that is the reality that today, most voiceover agents are asking that you do have Source Connect before joining their roster, especially if you're in LA or New York. It's just the way of the business. But there are some ways to get around that, and I'll share it coming up. You will find voiceover talent with agents who don't have it, even now, and there are a few reasons for that. One, because they'd gotten with their agents before it was actually necessary, like they've been grafted in because they've been with them for such a long time. Or they joined the on-camera division and then were automatically transferred and added to the VO roster. And then there's also some talent who are just focused on online casting sites and direct marketing instead of agents, so they don't have a need for it. But one thing's for sure nowadays, Source Connect has replaced ISDN. And it is becoming necessary if you're a voiceover talent with agents. What is Source Connect? It's a software application that allows real-time audio streaming and remote recording. I'll link this site in the notes if you want to check it out. It's from a company called Source Elements. It replaced ISDN, like I said, Integrated Services Digital Network. It basically had the sound quality that was just amazing. It was like you were there in the studio, right next door recording. Every studio had it, and many voice talent as well. At least those who were making bank and could afford it. It wasn't cheap. Phone companies started phasing it out, and now Source Connect, they saw a need and they started filling it. Source Connect isn't the only game in town. There are a few competitors to it, but they kind of did a great job of advertising and marketing. For better or worse, Source Elements has done a great job of marketing so that they're used in most, at least in my experience, most studios. Every major studio I book with in New York or LA or around the country, they all use Source Connect. If it doesn't, that's another issue. But since you have to pay a subscription fee for Source Connect, many talent are hesitant to get it before they know there's going to be a consistent need, and rightly so. And when I say consistent need, is that the talent will consistently need it. I get it. Don't spend money unless you know you can recoup that investment, because it is an investment. And I'm no tax pro, so seek professional help with regards to that, but it would be a business expense and you could deduct that from taxes. Again, I'm not a tax advisor, so consult one. Now, what if you don't have Source Connect? What do you do? Well, if you're anxious to pull the trigger, you can always buy a 2-day Source Connect license. It's, I think, around $25. If I were you and you know you're going to need it, I'd buy one now, test it out, make sure it works. You can just connect with a studio around where you are. You can either do Source Connect version 3.9 or the new Source Connect 4.0. I recently had a job where we were having trouble connecting. They said, hey, we're on Source Connect, having trouble showing you're offline. Finally, one of us had the wherewithal to ask, hey, what version of Source Connect are you using? Sure enough, the engineer was using Source Connect 4, the latest version, and I was on 3.9. Haha. But I had already purchased the upgrade to Source Connect 4. I just never downloaded it and used it. So I told him, hey, give me 5 minutes. Let me download this, set it up. Hopefully we'll be up and running really shortly. High praises for this version, no joke. It took about that 5 minutes, signed right in, it launched right up, and we connected super quickly. There was no port routing or anything.
Which is nice.
I was really impressed. Now, back to you. If you book a job, you'll need to find out which version the studio you'll be connecting with is using, and then get that version of Source Connect. If you're with an agent, let them know that you've tested Source Connect and it worked great, but if you book a job using Source Connect, you'll just buy a 2-day license. Most agents will understand. In addition, some studios have workarounds as well, where they'll send a link using a different version or a totally different application. So you don't even have to worry about it. You'll just click on the link and it'll hook right up. But in the case of Source Connect, this is what we recommended. If you still can't afford it or don't want to make the investment, here's another option. Book a local studio. If you're in a smaller town, it might not be possible, but like for here in Atlanta, a few studios that you could book with: Acoustech, Soundbite, SmartPost Studios, which is actually where Atlanta Voiceover Studio is located now, and also Arcade 160. I'll link those in the notes if you're here in Atlanta and you need to check them out. But wherever you go, ask the studio if they have a talent rate. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. After checking out those studios, there's one last way that I could think of that can possibly help you if you don't have Source Connect. meet other voiceover talent at our off-mic night, or connect in other ways, develop relationships. And then if you book something, you'll have plenty of talent to contact who may have Source Connect that you could just pay to rent out their space. They get a little bit of money. You pay less than you would at a studio. It's most likely cheaper than a studio and will help the VO talent out as well. And could make a good friend in the meantime. Hope that helps. Hey, coming up next Monday, going to be covering 10 voiceover books that'll help your career. Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceoverTraining.com is here to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey, giving you the tools and resources you need to create the voiceover career you want. Remember, build your voiceover business. Think outside the box. Cheers to your success.
Have you spent a bunch of time going through voiceover training only to now feel lost and not sure what your next steps are?
Or maybe you had a little success and started booking some voiceover jobs feeling good, but then it died down a little, and now you're unsure about how to create that long and sustainable career.
Or wish you had a support group to inspire you, hold you accountable, and answer those ever-elusive industry questions that come up all the time.
Well, we've been in your shoes, having to try to figure it all out in pieces here and there. So that's why we want to introduce you to the Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceoverTraining.com VO Mentorship Membership.
I know, like you need another membership, right? Yeah, we totally get it. But listen, the right one can make all the difference in a business.
Yeah, the reason we wanted to do this was because so many people go through training, get demos, maybe learn about voiceover from video courses like our own, ProVoiceoverTraining.com, or other places to train.
But when it came to actually putting it into practice and building a business, it felt overwhelming, confusing, and for some, maybe you, paralyzing.
Yeah, we could have created a workshop or class for this and it would have been worth it, but we wanted a solution that was for talent that was just more affordable, convenient, and valuable.
We also wanted to be right there with you, helping you along the way as much as we could.
So before we jump into what the monthly mentorship membership covers, let's talk about the extras first.
Members will get first access to sign up for Industry Pro workouts. These are virtual small group opportunities to read for agents, casting directors, or creative directors, receive their feedback, and get to know them better. And we only have 15 spots for each, so they fill up quickly.
And you get $20 off Industry Pro workouts as members. The mentorship membership is only $25 a month, so if you love doing the Industry Pro workouts anyway, the membership basically pays for itself.
And on top of the Industry Pro workouts, we'll also occasionally give members discounts to training and other offerings.
And those are just the bonuses. Each month you'll get
professional training modules. These are live Zooms we'll host monthly along with industry expert guests, and topics range from industry insights, business strategies, performance, and more.
A resource library, a collection of past Zoom sessions, scripts, audition prep guides, tech setup guides, and reference materials for different genres.
Toolkits. These are downloadable resources like vocal warm-ups, exercises, and script breakdowns to build a solid foundation in voiceover.
Plus, and this is a biggie, you'll have access to our private community message board where you can ask questions and get support. Now, we built out this membership to grow with you no matter where you are in your voiceover journey.
So we hope you'll join us. Take the next step toward a rewarding voiceover career with mentorship that grows with you. Join today for only $25 a month.